It's been 1 year since several deadly tornadoes hit the Mid-South. One of the hardest hit areas was Selmer, Tennessee. Around 1 a.m. on April 3rd, an EF3 tornado tore through this community, killing 5 people and leaving widespread destruction behind. Homes were destroyed, businesses were damaged, and for many families, lives changed in an instant. But Selmer's story is just one part of what was a much larger and long-lasting severe weather outbreak. If you missed our recap, this wasn't just one night of storms. It was a multi-day event that kept hitting the same areas over and over again. It started April 2nd. Near Truman, Arkansas, a traffic camera captured a tornado as it began to form. That same storm would grow into a destructive EF3 tornado that hit Lake City. By early the next morning, the threat turned even more dangerous. Multiple tornadoes were on the ground at the same time, including near Senatobia and in Selmer. Another tornado tracked from North Mississippi into Grand Junction, killing 2 people and causing significant damage there. Then, just days later, the threat shifted from tornadoes to flooding. By April 5th, Memphis had seen more than a foot of rain in less than a week. Flooding forced evacuations, shut down roads, and in some areas, flooding lasted for months. This was a storm system that didn't just hit once, it kept coming back. And for many, the impacts never really left. And in Selmer, those impacts are still being felt today. 1 year later, some have rebuilt, others are still searching for that new normal. McNairy County's mayor sat down with our Lauren Turman to share what the past year has looked like for his community and what recovery really means 1 year later.
April 3rd, 2025, a day etched into Selmer's memory. An EF3 tornado tore through a town of nearly 4,500, leaving behind silence and damage that still remains.
We had 86 homes destroyed in McNairy County out of about 130, I think, that was statewide. So we had, as you said, the most impact of any county in the state of Tennessee from the storm in April a year ago. But it's going very well. We are seeing a lot of people build back, but there's still a lot of things to do. A lot of the businesses are built back.
McNairy County Mayor Larry Smith says the sound of rebuilding has replaced the roar of the storm. But not every story has moved forward. Some homes are still torn apart. Others completely gone. Trees split in half still point towards the sky, a reminder of what was lost, 5 lives, and countless others forever changed.
The cleanup, the cost of cleanup was about $500,000 for the county's part, is what it was, and the city of Selmer was more than that because there was more impact inside the city limits of Selmer than there was out in the county itself.
Last year, we showed you Jesus Cares of McNairy County here, a nonprofit giving a helping hand to those in need, instead needing that assistance themselves after the storm severely damaged their building. And now, a year later, with the construction that you can see here behind me, their site is still not fully operational, expected to open in the next few weeks. And they're not alone. From nonprofits to small businesses, recovery has been a community effort with help from groups like the American Red Cross and the Small Business Administration, stepping in to help families and businesses find their footing again. But even with that help, the road back is slow.
I'd say it's probably 50%, something like that, rebuild done. It takes time because, you know, if you got FEMA reimbursement or if you had insurance, you didn't have enough insurance, then you know, you've got to work through the process.
And still, they keep going, because to Smith, recovery isn't just about rebuilding structures, it's about holding on to each other.
The reason for that is because neighbors help neighbors in McNairy County, family helps family in McNairy County.
And that may be what's helping hold this community together. For ABC 24, I'm Lauren Turman.
Now, as Lauren mentioned, it wasn't just homes that were impacted by that tornado in Selmer. Several businesses also took a hard hit, and some are still working on recovery and rebuilding. Our Kevin McNamara picks up our coverage.
When you go through that, I mean, the people are never the same.
It's been a long road back for Jesus Cares. So used to helping others in crisis, they were instead themselves in need of help after their facility was one of the 1,000 buildings destroyed in Selmer in last April's tornado. Now, They're weeks away from reopening.
I don't know if we'll ever be back to normal. I mean, it'll always have a little bit of a scar on our hearts, but it feels really good to be opening this place up and finally getting to where we can serve our community.
I was like, oh my God, but you know, Mother Nature, you really can't do nothing. So, I mean, that's what God wants to do it. That's what he done.
Business owners Jay and John Patel have had a similar story. Their gas station was completely destroyed and has still yet to fully reopen. Just weeks ago, they were finally able to reopen their liquor store.
It's looking great. This side of north town. I feel awesome.
Slowly but surely, the town of Selmer has gotten back to work. The recovery process they knew would be painful isn't quite finished yet.
You can still see the trees that are just broken and tortured and just jammed up. You know, that's going to be there for a while, and that's the same with on our minds. That's going to be there. The people that have actually lived through this and gone through this.
But through their faith in each other, they know it will be. Reporting from Selmer, Kevin McNamara, ABC 24.
Now, of course, Selmer wasn't the only community hit hard. Coming up after the break, we're going to check in with Senatobia, another area impacted by last April's week-long outbreak of tornadoes. And we'll share one resident's story of recovery and resilience. Stay with us.